Hey, smart people! You're going to get my best foreign language vocabulary tricks. I call the memory trick to recalling all new vocabulary code words. Using code words, you'll be able to learn the names of people or places that have difficult or unfamiliar names. You'll remember technical and scientific vocabulary. And in this video, you'll get words from a whole bunch of different foreign languages. Now, the trick is that these code words are mental cues to enable you to change the difficult thing you wish to remember into something that's easy. So let's start with some simple words in Spanish. Then we'll do some French, Norwegian, Vietnamese, Russian, even some Tagalog, which is the national language of the Philippines. Now be sure to stay tuned to the end, where you can test how well you do with a short pop quiz. Now, using this code word technique may make you laugh, and that's a good thing. Here's the basics. First, listen carefully to the word you wish to retain and recall. Break down long words to short groups of sounds. Then, say it out loud to yourself several times. Try to hear other words that sound like what you're trying to learn. Those sound-alike words will remind you of what you want to remember. Then you connect the sound-alike code word to the new word you're learning. Feel free to be silly and have fun with your images and connections. Do not be too logical. The goal here is to use both sides of your brain. You want to engage the creative, imaginative side with the logical, analytical side. So we're going to start with words in English that we're going to translate into Spanish, then we're going to create a code word, and then we're going to make the connection between the code word and the Spanish word. Let's start with the word uncle. Simple enough. Uncle is tío. You're going to have a cup of tío with your uncle, not a cup of coffee-o. You're going to have a cup of tío with tío. Your face, cara, cara. All right, so cara could sound like car. Maybe you see your car that has a face on it. Maybe your face is on your car. Or maybe a car hits you in the face. Oh my goodness, you'd remember that. Car, face, cara. The word ice is hielo. Hielo. Sounds like yellow. And all your life you've been told, don't eat yellow snow or ice. So if you see some yellow ice, don't eat it. The word for shoe is zapato. Sounds like zip-a-toe or zap-a-toe. Zapato, maybe your shoes have zippers and you're zipping them up too fast and you zip-a-toe. Or you've got electric shocks and you zap-a-toe with your shoes. What about the word sing? Sing, cantar, cantar. It sounds like a can of tar, can tar. Maybe people don't like the way you sing, and so they dump a can of tar on you, or you dump it on them because you don't like the way they sing, cantar. Silly, yes, I know, we're playing with words. And that's the whole idea here. We're not making fun, we're having fun. Now let's do a few words in French. Now, one of my favorite French things is bread. So the word bread is pain. It's spelled like pain, but it's pronounced like pan, P-A-N. So you might see a pan of bread, but maybe the pan is very hot, and when you touch it, it gives you some pain. So that gives you both the pronunciation and the spelling. Next, we'll do the word salt. Salt is sell. It sounds like you're going to sell something, or a prisoner in a cell. So you might see yourself selling salt to a prisoner in a cell. Sell, sell, salt. The next word is winter, and that is l'hiver. And l'hiver kind of reminds me of shiver. Shiver. I'm going to shiver in l'hiver because it's very cold in the winter. And while you're shivering, maybe your teeth are chattering. So the word teeth is dent. Spelled D-E-N-T. Looks like dent, but it's pronounced dent. Don't dent Don's teeth. The next word, cow, and that is vache. Sounds like wash. My cow is dirty, so we're going to go wash the cow. Vache the cow? Now that's silly. All right, so we've done some words in Spanish and French, which are both Romance languages. So there's a lot of similarity between those languages. Let's talk about Norwegian, where there's very little similarity. Now, if you're in Norway and it's a nice day, how would you say nice day? Well, that's fin dag. Fin dag. Sounds like a fin dog, or a fine dog, or if you look at the words the way they're spelled, you can see fin as fine, and dog is very close to the word day, so you can see fine day. So on this nice day, it's very quiet. How do you say quiet? Stille. Stille. It's stille, quiet. Still sounds like in the still of the night. It's quiet out. What about the word exams? Maybe you're in school up in Norway and you've got exams. So examiner. And it sounds like examiner. So don't judge me on my accent. I am from New Jersey of Italian heritage, and so speaking Norwegian with an Italian New Jersey accent, I don't know, hey, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so now let's go to the other side of the world, and you're in Vietnam and you're hungry. So a good expression to know would be let's eat, and that's an toi, hand toy. Well, maybe you're not used to dealing with chopsticks, and to you it's kind of like a hand toy. So let's eat. All right, so maybe you're in school in Vietnam and you have an exam. Well, we did exam in Norwegian. How do you say exam in Vietnamese? An easy one, tea. So you might see yourself spilling a cup of tea on your exam, and your final exam, oh, what a mess, that tea on your exam. So if that happened, you would probably be best to breathe. And the word breathe is toe. So you can see yourself breathing through your toe. Silly stuff. So let's continue with our world tour. And now you're in Russia and you want to go to school, or you're asking about the school, and that is shkola. Shkola. And you might see shkola. And you're in the class and you're drinking a can of cola, but you don't want the teacher or the other students to see shkola. All right, so while you're at school, you want to get home, and how are you going to get around in Russia? Well, you're going to take your car. And this is an easy one. Avtomobil. Avtomobil. And that looks and sounds like automobile, which is a very easy connection to make. In fact, if you look at the way it's spelled, A-V-T-O instead of A-U-T-O, and that's a relatively easy one. We talked about school. Now let's talk about work. The word for work is rabota, rabota, which sounds like robot. And maybe while you're at work, you need to work hard and you're like a robot. Our next language is Tagalog. Tagalog is the national language of the Philippines. When you look at the way it's spelled, it looks like tag, a log. And if you're in the Philippines, it's full of pines, and those logs that you're tagging are all pine logs. So you're tagging a log full of pines. It's full of pines, tag a log. Now suppose you're thirsty. Well, water would be a good word to know. The word is too big. Somebody gives you a glass of water that's not too small, it's too big. Let's take a look at the word eat. We had water, now let's eat, and that is kumain. Kumain sounds like come in, like my Italian grandmother might say, come in and eat the now. It's a nice. Kumain, to eat now. Okay, one more. Dance. This is one of my favorites, magsayaw. Magsayaw sounds like mag, say, ow. So you're dancing with your friend Maggie, and you step on her feet, and Mag, say ow. Silly, I love it. But do silly things like this and it'll help you remember too. Okay, so I think you've got the basics. Don't worry if my images and connections don't resonate with you. That's not important. What is important is that you make up your own connections. Use your own life experience and ways of thinking about things to help you create connections that are memorable for you. Look, they don't have to make sense to anyone else. Okay, time for a pop quiz. What's the Spanish word for ice? Yes, yellow. Don't eat yellow snow and ice. In French, what's the word for cow? Huh? Yes, vache. We're going to go vache the cow. In Norwegian, what's the words for nice day? Got it? Yes, fin dag. It's a fine dog, it's a fine day. In Vietnamese, what's the word for breathe? Yep, toe. You're going to breathe through your toe. In Russian, what's the word for work? You got it. Robota. You're a robot. In Tagalog, this is the last one. What's the word for dance? Yes, magsayaw. Maggie says ow when you step on her feet while dancing. Maybe you got them all. If not, that's okay. You can't expect to make your code words just once and you're done. You must review them. And that's why spaced repetition is so important. We'll cover more about that in another of my videos. And if you've got any tips to share about remembering foreign languages, be sure to put them in the comments below. As you probably already know, I attempt to read them all and I respond to a whole lot of them. If you like what I'm doing here on this channel, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit that little bell icon to be notified every time I release a new video. Share these messages on your social media and with people you care about. And I will look forward to having you join me on my other videos.